What is going on, everybody? Welcome back. I have Maliss built for Anaheim that I was going to go to. Unfortunately, fortunately, I have some things come up, so I couldn't go. But this is the build that I was going to personally take. And hopefully, someone watches it and they get some inspiration, they get some ideas, and they roll with it. But let's just run through it really quick. So we're doing the 3 Maliss White Rabbit, 3 Dormouse, 1 Chessy Cat, 3 Malice and Underground, 1 of each trap. So the MTP07, TB11, GWC06. And then for extenders and more consistency, we're doing the 1 Code of Soul, 1 Dotscaper. I'm choosing 3 Signet Mining over Allure because I feel like Droll was going to be pretty popular going into the event. So I would rather guarantee a search other than, banish, draw 2, get hit with Droll, kind of messes up my plays a little bit. And throughout the combos, you normally draw 3 cards anyway. You draw 2 off the Chessy Cat, you draw 1 off the White Binder. So there's no reason to extend further into a Droll when you don't need to. And also, I'm also playing Bestials, so you discarding off to search allows you to have a Dark Engrave to banish with the Bestial and further extend. So that's my reasoning. Minings have been working great for me, so put those in there. All right, so 2 more consistency cards, Gold Sark, and something that most people aren't using at the moment. I'm not sure why, but I'm using Foolish Burial. Foolish Burial to me has been really well. With Foolish, you can Foolish any Malice monster. You can Foolish a Malice monster, banish it with the Bestial to further extend. You can Foolish your Dotscaper, because Dotscaper actually can get its effect when it's sent to the graveyard as well. So if you can just Foolish your Dotscaper, you don't have to waste your Firewall Terahertz sending this or using your Red Ransom on the Special Summon back to banish this to further extend. So I really like it. You can also even send your Code of Soul to the graveyard to, further extend and actually have more follow-up. That way you don't have to waste it using the Terahertz effect. You can use it more for your extra deck sends. So I would recommend testing the Foolish Burial. I posted my list in a few Malice groups and a lot of people were asking me about it. Try it out. Honestly, it's a free extender. You don't have anything to lose. So I recommend it. Try it out. You can even send Malice that you need to the graveyard and special summon back out your, White Binder, and banish 1 of them from the graveyard to further extend. So it's an extender. It works well. And to go along with that same thought process, we are playing the 3 Bestials, 1 Magnuma, 1 Baldrake, 1 Druid's Worm. I've been seeing people only play these 2. I really like the Baldrake because it's a further interruption. So you can tribute off 1 of your Malice monsters, negate a summon from the extra deck, and it gives you further extension. You can further your plays from there. So I really like it. But I'm playing these. So these are pseudo engine, pseudo hand trap, depending on what you're playing against. So really like those. And then for the non-engine, we are playing 1 Called By, triple Crossout Designator, triple Foolos, triple Impulse, triple Imperm, triple Ash, and 1 Nibiru, mainly just for the crossout target. Because if you've played the deck, I chose not to play the extra cards to play around Nibiru. I would rather just cross it out. And and it usually, if you've played the deck enough, you know that Nibiru hurts the deck more than it should when it gets dropped. So I prefer to be able to hit it with the crossout, and that's it. And if it happens, unfortunately. But the way I built the deck, you have the further extenders. So again, the Foolish Burial, the Bestials, all of that. So these are my ratios, 40 cards. So really straight to the point, nothing super glamorous, nothing super crazy, but it works. It does the job. Really good at controlling the game states. You can explode. And then I have some extra deck choices that I don't see a lot of people using, but let's run through the extra deck real quick. So we're doing the 1 Link Decoder, and I'm choosing to play the 1 Lingaribo just because of imperms, impulses. So impulse I feel is going to be very popular as well. So having this to be able to negate that going first is a good option. And then even going second, you can just summon, do this, banish with Bestial, summon back out, and combo off with the protection of a trap. So you don't have to worry about them right there. Standard Hagrid Lizardos, SP Little Knight, Splash Mage, and then 1 of each. So Hearts of Cryptor, Red Ransom, White Binder. Now, one option that I'm using is the Protect Code Talker. So I actually really like this card because it gives you extension while you have the terahertz on the field, or even if you have your firewall, like let's say you leave fire on the field. So if you read this, it says your opponent can't target Link 4 or higher monsters with card effects, and they can't be destroyed by battle. So if you have your terahertz on the field, if you have your firewall, they're protected pretty much. And the cool thing I like about this card is it says if you control a firewall Link monster, quick effect, you can banish Link monsters from your graveyard whose combined Link rating equals exactly 3. Special summon this card, but banish it when it leaves the field. Well, if this is in the graveyard and any of your Maliss monsters are also in the graveyard while you have terahertz or firewall on the field, you can banish any of these while this is engraved to special them back out, and then you'll have further protection and you can get more interruptions, more combos started, more searching. So I absolutely love this card. It's been working well for me. And I also chose this over other options because I am playing Impulse, and this is a dark monster. So it allows me to still be able to play with my extra deck. Like the only card that actually conflicts with the extra deck is going to be the Firewall Dragon. That's it. Everything else is water and dark that's actually used. So I would recommend trying this out. Works really well for me. Might work well for you. Look into that. Just that interaction, being able to banish any of these, special summon back out, special summon one of those back out, and then continue to combo off. So really good. Playing the Access Code Talker, Firewall Dragon, the Dark Fluid, Neo Terahertz. The normal end board is this one. D-Save Worm, and the 2 cards that I'm choosing to play as my 14 and 15 is Packbit and Sky Crisis. So I'm not playing Meteorologic. It's hasn't really done that amazing for me. Like going against Ryziel, they'll have the opportunity to just negate it if they have the field spell up, or it can get hit by Called By or anything like that. I felt like Packbit was more of a generic option where I can just send with terahertz and push anything back. So that's just something that works out for me. I would say try it out, test it. It should be an option. And then also having Sky Crisis. So Sky Crisis has been working also very well for me. And also ending on this on a board with a bunch of high attack monsters. What's that Ryziel monster, the Detonator? It's 3,000 attack, so it won't be able to activate. You just slap this on, bounce it back, and you'll be good from there. So it's a good option. It's good for grind game, and it's good just for pushing in general. So yeah, that's the extra deck. And let's go through the side deck really quick. So if you didn't notice, in the main deck, I'm not maining Shifter. I don't think Shifter is necessary in this deck. I feel like it's a crutch. I feel like people held on to the idea of Shifter in the main deck for too long. Even in OCG, they're not even main decking really Shifter. And going into Anaheim, I feel like a lot of people don't know how to play the deck to its full potential, or they're just going to do a cookie cutter, oh, let me throw shifter in there. And if you were to mirror match, it only helps you, and they wasted a card. So why put this in the main deck when if you're at a high tier event, most people are going to be playing the best decks, which is going to be Maliss, Raziel, and they don't really do anything. So I'd rather side it and have it for, let's say, your Snake Eye mirror matches, your Ubels, your just one-off random like decks. Like it's a good option. So it still needs to be in the side, it's still good. So I would side the 3 shifters. I'm doing the 2 thrust. I'm doing 1 talents, 1 Harpy's Feather Duster, 2 Dimensional Barrier, 2 Perulia, and the spice that I was going to play this weekend was going to be this. So 3 Ghost Reaper and Winter Cherries and 1 Raziel Detonator. So from my testing, the game is extremely more in our favor if you're able to get rid of this as soon as possible. If you can get rid of a detonator in the early game, they have no real way to get that card back. They don't have a real way to get it back in rotation. And same can be said if you were to be in a mirror match and you get rid of the Hearts of Cryptor from your opponent. There's really no real way to bring this back because they can't special summon it back out because it wasn't properly summoned. So I would recommend trying this out. It doesn't hurt to try, and you can literally ruin an entire game for your opponent if you just get rid of certain key pieces. Like, you don't even have to get rid of any of those. Let's say you're doing a mirror match and you see that they're struggling and you need to get rid of their follow-up. You hit a Splash Mage, they don't have a follow-up. You hit their Terahertz earlier in the combo, they're not going to be able to end on a premium board. So I felt like playing this going into the event was going to be such a surprise factor that people weren't going to be having any copies of this in their side deck to cross it out, and most people aren't going to be expecting it. So being able to cherries the detonator, cherries the cryptor, cherries the dark fluid, or anything that you feel would be a problem, like even hitting the SP, there's no real way for these cards to get put back in rotation. So this was the deck I was playing, if I could go. So yeah, that's it. I really like the deck. It's really fun. I would recommend testing, playing as much as you can, try different options. The deck is still earlier in the build for TCG, and just have fun with it. Again, the only reason I'm not playing Allure is because I feel like Droll is going to be more prevalent because everyone's going to be playing Charmies. But yeah, I appreciate y'all. Hope my explanations kind of helped a little bit. Try out Foolish Burial. It's really cool. And yeah, man, later. Peace.